Hey, it's Worth Playboy.
And my Playboys Bunny.
Welcome to our podcast where we discuss pickup, game, relationships, and
sex.
And today we're going to talk about explaining the fat bride syndrome. Which we're still, this is a theory. It's a working theory. It's all we got.
Yeah.
You see, traditionally, and you know, we both are personal trainers, and traditionally girls want to look their very thinnest and very best on this one day.
This one special day.
The lightest I ever was on my wedding day. The
pictures will be on the walls for generations.
And we've noticed in the last decade, there's a lot of handsome men marrying some very big girls.
Yeah.
And they're not husky. These are just fat girls.
Yeah.
And you never saw fat brides.
And I will add that oftentimes what you see is, it's almost embarrassing. I have like, what is that, displaced embarrassment or whatever, or secondhand embarrassment.
Empathy.
Secondhand embarrassment.
Right. Because
these people will because they're prepping for their wedding and they're so excited, and I hate to shit on people's happy day. I'm trying really hard not to. But they'll show pictures of their dating life, whether it was a year or 6 years. And this girl was thin to start. Always, 9 times out of 10, she was thin and she's gotten fat. And now she's fat as a bride.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, she's at maximum density.
Which means she's going to be overweight as soon as they get married. But that's not the point. Because there's even been research on this. And the younger the guy, let's say 17 to 21, and then 21 to 25, the younger the guy, the more he invests psychologically to a girl who is thin. Mm-hmm. And they're more critical in surveys of any type of weight gain.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. I mean, the researchers looked at it and they said, well, it makes sense because you do tend to gain weight with each pregnancy, even if it's like 2 to 3 pounds that remains. And it would make more sense on a genetic standpoint for you to start with a healthy weight. You know, guys do tend to, the younger they are, they will tend to avoid overweight girls because it's an unhealthy state to begin a pregnancy in.
Right,
you know?
Which is why, I mean, you just said that wasn't the point, but that's why I made that point, was because these girls are showing what they could potentially look like on their wedding day, but they're not.
No. And they're okay with it. I mean, that's what I've kind of noticed. We've had girls that stop training, and they look like hell by the time their wedding comes around.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But the thing that we've noticed is average guys, this is 80-90% of the guys out there.
It is.
Are not like us, or if you're listening to this podcast, or if you're in our Twitter sphere, or if you're even like just searching for this stuff.
Seriously.
We're interested in women. We're interested in seduction. We're interested in game, and not full time, but just being better than average at it.
Looking and feeling our best.
Yeah, being able to move a girl from stranger to in your bed in a certain amount of time through a certain number of steps. The vast majority of guys are not interested in girls, seduction, or sex. They're interested in going to work. They're interested in their hobbies more than work. And any girl will pretty much do, you know, and that's why I think you see more fat brides today. And kind of like what we said, we passed a couple in the hallway. He was pretty sharp. Yeah. And you said you could tell that the girl was not that heavy when they started dating.
No. You can just tell, because there's no way that guy was newly attracted to her. And she had a lot of potential. I'm sure she was very cute 30 pounds ago. But she's probably 5'2" and maximum density. I mean, she's a wide girl. She's not fat. but she is definitely teeter-tottering on that edge.
And my response was, over the last 3 or 4 years, other than the weight gain, she's probably not given him a reason to break up with her.
Exactly.
A lot of men are just happy with a girl that doesn't bring drama all the fucking time.
Yeah.
You know, and they're happy. I mean, it's just kind of like, you know, you go into the suburbs and you look across the mass of these cookie cutter houses.
Yeah.
And you've got beta guys and their overweight wives and their chubby kids.
Yeah.
And that's what keeps America running. And that's the backbone. You know what I mean? You have to have that.
Which is terrifying, by the way.
It's crazy, crazy.
Unhealthy. I'm not saying that everybody needs to, you know, be the guy who's running rotations and not marrying these girls and all, but like
the whole thing would collapse.
It's the weakening of males is actually causing the weakening of the country.
Yeah, it's a fabric, but at the same time, it's the bedrock that keeps the whole thing humming along.
Right.
And the guys, for the vast majority, are happy.
Yeah.
They like going to work.
Yeah.
They like hunting and fishing and playing pool or listening to country music or listening to music. I mean, or cars. Almost all men have some hobby. I should say video games too, because that's more prevalent than anything.
Apparently.
But trying to replace her with a girl who's 5 years younger or 10 pounds lighter, or a lot of guys, they want to marry the first girl they have sex with so they can stop this insanity that's eating up all their time.
Sure.
You know, and we've talked about that. That's why these guys, like, they're like, man, they hate dating.
Yeah.
They hate texting. A lot of guys will not carry a phone. Their wife makes them in case she needs them for the kids.
Or he has to for work or whatever.
I mean, most guys loathe texting. They hate social media. They won't go on social media.
Yeah.
You know, you talk to guys that are 30 and they have no business. They don't have a business on social media. They're like, no, why would I have that?
Yeah.
It's a completely,
I'm not on Facebook. She is.
Yeah, it's a completely foreign concept.
Sure.
And that's most men.
Yeah.
So they're happy with a girl that is still there when they come home, doesn't spend all their money,
yeah,
and is somewhat sane most of the time.
Yeah.
And for most guys, they're like, that's good enough.
Is a good mom.
Yeah.
Cooks pretty decent.
His
whatever
mom likes
it
her.
is. Yeah.
That's all that matters. That's why guys won't get divorced.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why women file for divorce. Guys are just, yeah, we don't live together anymore, but we're still married. That way I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
You know?
It's true. But
So-
the bottom line is most guys are happy just being with a girl who doesn't give them a reason to break up.
Exactly. That was the whole gist of this, because we kind of walked it all the way back. We're like, how are all these fat brides happening?
Yeah.
Well, because the guy, like, when they met, they were fine. She was fine.
Yeah.
And she's heavier now, but he's not going anywhere.
But he loves her.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere.
He loves her at any size.
Yeah. And he's not wandering around either.
No.
He's got to get home.
Yeah.
Game's on.
Game's on.
Yeah. I mean, that's the truth. I mean, and it's not like low standards. It's standards. That's what makes him happy.
Well, again, it's that it doesn't take extra work on their part. So they're good.
Yeah. She maintains the relationship.
Yeah. 1,000%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty alpha thing to do. You know, he's like, you know.
Well, like we talk about, what's the phrase? Girls are in charge of a relationship. Guys are in charge of sex, seduction. It goes.
Well, yeah. Well, we always say sex first, then relationship, maybe.
Yeah.
You know.
Anyway, if you like this podcast, please like, subscribe, share with your friends. If you've got, situations or buddies that you have seen this. Everybody has seen this with their own eyes. I mean, you know it when you see it, but maybe you weren't thinking about what was really happening.
Yeah.
But you're going, why is he with her? Or why is she staying with him? or what, you know, I can't even imagine them having sex, or I think they only have sex like once a month, or
and that's the truth.
Or
and they're
why
happy.
did he marry her when she was so much hotter when they were, you know, 5 years ago?
Yeah.
All of this, when you know what you're looking at, it's eye-opening. We want you to win. Bye!